Good morning and welcome to Peace Out. I just hit live and I was like, did I fix my hair? It's not like I have to fix it too much anyway, right? Anyway, good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we're all figuring out together how to try to peace out, right? In the middle of a very chaotic, very interesting, constantly changing, which is what we're going to talk about today, world, right? It seems like so many things are changing so fast. I hope you had a good day so far. So far, I know it's early, and let's see. I don't have a book handy, but this week's book of the week is 21 Days, which is a real simple devotional to help someone develop the habit of daily Bible study. So it has real short passage, a verse to read, just to get you in the habit, and then there's more verses if you want to spend more time than that. But the thing is just to develop that habit of picking up that Bible every single day. Well, why? Well, this is where we get our bullets to fight, right? It's the sword of the Spirit, it's our an offensive weapon. And when we put this in our heart, then when something comes at us, we have something to grab, right? Or if we're given inundated with misinformation or crazy information or sad information or bad information or fill in the blank, we have something to grab. We can grab John 14:27 anytime we want. My peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, gives I unto you. Don't let your heart be troubled. Don't let it be afraid, right? I grab that one a lot. I remind myself a lot that God gave me his peace and he has no intentions of changing that agreement. That's what I want to talk about. Here's why I'm talking about change this morning. Because I was folding some laundry a while ago before I took a shower. And Chris's sheets they have a new special design. And I use special lightly because I hate them. You can't fold today's fitted sheets. There's no way to fold them smoothly. You know, I had just learned at over 50 years old, over 50 years old before I figured out how to fold fitted sheets anyway. I just figured out how to fold them and tuck the corners in just right and get them all folded so they look decent. And then they change the design. Then it's horrible. Maybe they stay on the bed a little bit more better. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But you can't fold them. Nobody asked me if they could change the style and the make of fitted sheets. They just did it and said, just adjust, right? Doesn't that make you just a little bit mad? I know it's silly, but it's a major thing when you can't fold those sheets right. You got to cram them in a drawer, and it's just horrible, right? And the other thing that I was thinking about, that made me think about something else, how they changed light bulbs. Probably 15, 20 years ago, they started changing them over into what are these new junky ones are. They're supposed to be better, but you can't see as good. They're not as bright. I don't care what you tell me, they are not as bright, and they don't light up the room as well as old school light bulbs. I don't care what the benefits are. I like the old school light bulbs, but nobody asked me before they changed them. They just changed them and basically made us adapt. And now you can't get real fitted sheets and you can't get real light bulbs anymore. They just changed them. We don't have near as much control as we think, by the way. But anyway, they just changed them, right? And you just have to adapt. You can't get the old light bulbs anymore because these are supposedly better. I'm sure for the environment or something. You can't get the regular old fitted sheets anymore because these are better. You can't fold them, right? So change is inevitable. How we deal with change is where we have to choose. So as I was thinking about these changes that were made in my world that I have no control over, I thought of this scripture, and it's in Malachi 3:6. And God says, he says, I am the Lord, and I do not change. And I was like, man, that's awesome. Because it also says, I believe it's verse 5 of Hebrews 13 that says, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Is it verse 5? I will never fail you. I will never forsake you. Must be a little bit earlier or later than that. But it says, oh, there it is. Verse 8. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. God does not change. This word, you can translate this any way you want. And I have my own translations that I like best. But God's word, the essence of his word, the presence of his word, the power of his word is not going to change. Your situations can change. This is going to stand. They can change the light bulbs. They can change the sheets. They can change anything. They can go to a cashless society. But this word will not change. The situations in our lives change all the time, right? Some of them are more subtle. Some of them are are big, some of them are chosen, some of them are not. Maybe we get laid off from a job, or we choose to go to a new job. Change is inevitable. Take a big breath. Say, if you took a big breath, then you understand that you are alive and change is going to happen in your life. As you age, you get smarter. That's a good change, I hope, right? As we learn new experiences, we change as a person. We choose to adapt to our crazy society, right? We choose to adapt to technology. I love technology, but some of it, when it doesn't work, or some of it just is annoying, and sometimes I'm sitting here going, "This is better? How?" Right? And sometimes it works out to be, and sometimes it doesn't. But here's the thing: I am the Lord, He said, and I do not change. God does not change. Now, our relationship to Him changes, but that's a good thing because we get to know Him better. I hope we've been doing this devotion for 4 years, and I hope in this 4 years you have come to trust Him more. That changes your relationship when you trust someone more, when you put more stock in what they say because it's actually the truth that He says He will never leave us. He doesn't have the capacity to leave, but He will never choose to leave us, right? He says, when you go through the fire, I'm with you. You're not going to be burned up. When you go through the flood, you're not going to be overcome because I got you. When you go through life circumstances, He doesn't just abandon ship and go, "Oh, never mind that. I did not see that coming. I didn't count on that happening. I didn't know they were going to make that choice. I don't know what to do with that. I didn't see that coming. What happened? Who told?" No, He never does that. He already has walked through tomorrow for you so He can walk through it, so you can choose to walk through it with Him when it gets here, right? And so our relationship with God changes because we learn to trust Him more. We learn to believe more. We hide the Word. The Word does not change. Our experiences change how we perceive it and how we can apply it. It gets easier and easier to apply it. It gets easier and easier to run to it when we hide it in our heart and go, "Okay, I know this looks bad, but God didn't leave me. I know this looks bad, but I got peace. I know this looks bad, but God still loves me. This can't make God not love me. This can't make God leave me. This can't make God take back His peace. God never looks at His grace and goes, okay, well, now wait. I gave them an unmeasurable amount of grace. That my grace is sufficient for anything they go through. My grace expands to what they need. They never run out of my grace. Maybe I should rethink that." He never says that. He never says, "Okay, I've been making mercies new every morning for like 4,000 years now, 5,000 years now. Let's just turn that off for a while and see how they do." No, His mercies are going to be new every single morning. Everything that we count on from God, salvation, righteousness, peace, joy, all of those things, the grace, the mercy, His love, those are never going to change. It don't matter if somebody thinks there's a better style. Doesn't matter if times change, traditions change, society changes, culture changes. We have different cultures, subcultures within our own culture, and then there's different cultures around the world. It doesn't matter. God's mercies are still going to be new every single morning. His grace is never going to run out. He will not retract it. He won't change it. He won't say, "Never mind." He made us righteous. That does not change. Our ability to accept that and walk in it and rejoice in it may change, but that's on us, right? As we learn more about Him and more about His Word, we should be letting this change. See, we shouldn't read this with an aesthetic distance. We read the Word sometimes with an aesthetic distance. That's a playwright term, a theater term. You're in the audience, but there's an aesthetic distance. You know it's not real and you're not living it, even though you're emotionally invested, right? And so we read this sometimes and we're not emotionally invested. That we keep an aesthetic distance. It's just a book. We're holding it out here. This is a really nice story. But we need to read it with an attitude of, "Please change me today. Please let me learn today how to accept your grace and walk in it no matter what I face. Please let me accept today the truth, facts change, truth doesn't, the truth that you love me and I can't do anything about it. The truth that I'm righteous. I can't see. I know my mess ups. I know my dirt. I'm not going to tell it all to you, but I know my weaknesses. I know where I struggle, right? And yet God says you're still righteous because you're covered by the blood of Christ. And so as I grow in faith and I grow in His Word and I learn more about Him, I change. But God doesn't change. I just get to know Him better. I get to know the things He's given us better, the things He's done for us better. And then I learn how to walk in it more, I can adapt to what He said rather than trying to adapt what He said to what I think, right? That was a whole lot more than just piecing out. But when I really trust Him and I really know that He will not change anything He said, He watches over His word to perform it, and He's with me, He loves me, and I'm righteous in Him, I can peace out easily because He's got it, whatever our it is, and He's got me. He's got you. He's got us covered. Peace out. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.